All right, so when you download the Libby app, you are going to come to this screen. It says, welcome, thousands of public libraries offer ebooks and audiobooks for free in Libby. So all you need is your library card, and you need your Hampton Bays card. Many of the libraries in Suffolk County also use Libby, but you should only have one card. So first question, do you have a library card? You're going to say yes. And if you have Libby on another device, either your mobile phone, your iPad, another tablet, you can copy from your other device, but I've found that it is very easy. You just kind of log back in and it remembers stuff. It might not remember where you left off though, I'm not really sure, but it will have all of your checkouts when you go in between devices. Otherwise, you can look up your library by name or location if you've never logged in before. So I'm going to say, I'll search for a library. And you're going to just type in Hampton Bays Public Library. And the autocorrect should come up and it'll say liveberry.com, Hampton Bays Public Library. We'll select that. And now you're going to log in with your library card. So I'm just going to select again, Hampton Bays Public Library, just once you could confirm. And now you're going to type in your barcode number. All of your barcodes should start with 206-30000. I'm going to enter in mine and then it'll ask for a password. So everybody should have a password connected to their patron account at the library. It should be at least 8 characters and contain at least one number with no repeating characters. If you do not have a password, we can set that up in person at the library, or if you already have an email address attached to your library account, you can reset the password yourself or set up a new password yourself. But if you don't have an email address or a password already set up in your library account, you do have to come in person to the library to set that up. So I'm going to enter mine and I'm going to then enter my password when it asks. All right, so now you saw that it had your kind of virtual library card, and it'll show you how many checkouts you currently have and how many you currently have available. So we'll take you to the main screen, to the library screen. Up at the top left, you'll see the search bar, and up at the top right, you will see a little icon that has your account info all on there. That's where you'll get most of your information from. At the bottom, you'll see the library button and the shelf button. So the library button will always bring you back to this main page. The shelf button will bring you back to your current loans and holds. So it works pretty much like a regular library. So you will see that I have 2 recent loans, our Be Kind and Giraffe Problems books. And you will see that I have 0 holds. So whenever something becomes available and you have it on hold, it'll automatically come to your account unless you have it set up differently. If you're not ready for it, and you can accept it or deny it within a certain amount of time. So let's go back to the library. So anywhere where you are, you can select your books and you can start reading where you left off. So library, it will show you the main library page. Right now it's showing you just general certain topics that are popular or pertinent. You know, you'll have all of your kind of like the displays that we have at the library. So right now this is on a general one. I'm not sure if you log in with the children's card, you might automatically go on to the children's page, but I'm not entirely sure if that works out. But at the top here, we can go to preferences and explore, and we can search for our own books. So let's do our preferences first. Format. Right now it's set to any, but there are books and there are audiobooks. So the ebooks are just like a regular book. Audiobook is strictly either just like an audiobook, like you get the CD or a playaway at the library. This is just the audio file of the book with it being narrated. There are some picture books and I believe some easy readers that also have a read along with it, which I will show you later. So there's a visual of the text and pictures along with an audio. Right now I'm going to leave it on any. Language, we have English, Spanish, German, Chinese. There's a bunch of different languages that you can search for all right there. Audience, this is where you can change your age level. So we have juvenile, it will be the children, young adult will be our teens, general content will probably is what the main page is when you log in, and mature content is for adults. Availability, and everything or available now. So certain things will show up, but they'll all be checked out. There isn't an unlimited amount of copies of everything due to licensing. We are only allowed a certain amount of copies between the county. So you could limit that to available now. But if you had everything, you could always put something on hold if it's not available right now. Compatibility, right now it says Libby, so that means that it is compatible to read in the Libby app or on the Libby website. But if you click on there, you'll have Kindle and Adobe compatible e-reader. I'm not sure about the Adobe e-reader very much, but the Kindle, there are some books that will be available just for Kindle and some books that will be available for both Libby and Kindle. So if you have a Kindle account on Amazon, you can download the book to Amazon and on the website on Amazon. Just like if you buy an ebook off of Amazon, you will be able to select download to your device and it will go down to your Kindle. And once your loan is up, it will be no longer available off of your Kindle. You can also switch between reading between your Libby and your Kindle, but it will not always transfer over where you left off on each one. So you'll have to remember where you left off. So I'm going to change my preference right now to audience children. So we make sure juvenile, we make sure all of our books that we are searching for right now are for children. So we can close our preferences tab. I forgot to apply the preferences. There's that bottom thing right there. I'm going to hit juvenile again and apply preferences. Now you'll see I have one preference right there on the left, and I'm going to click on the explore button. And this will give you some guides, the kids guide, the teens guide, the Spanish guide, and the mystery and thriller. So kids and teens, it will have all of your books that are for those age groups. So Spanish is our most popular language other than English. It will have a quick, easy way to get most of the Spanish books. And I believe mystery and thriller is one of our top genres in adult books. So those are just a quick and easy way, but we can also look at what's new, what's popular, what's available, and we can also look at subjects. So let me quickly look at subjects. There's all different types. There's by genre, by whether it's fiction or nonfiction, and it will tell you a number of how many books are there. So that's a nice, easy way if you just want to browse a certain subject or genre. But I'm just going to go back and go to the guide for kids, and it will have all of my kids' books. So as the main page, it has a few of the popular titles, current display books, if you want to call them, about certain topics that are popular right now, or what Libby wants to feature at the moment, just like we would put up a display at the library. So you can browse through, and it will tell you a little bit of info. It'll tell you the cover of it, the title, the author, a rating of it, and it'll tell you all these different things. So I'm going to go and show you a book called Scaredy Squirrel Makes a Friend. Now this is under the kids read-alongs. So this is one of those books that I was telling you about that has an audiobook along with the pictures and the words. So when you click on any book, you'll get a page like this where it'll tell you the format and the author, the publisher, all of this information on the left-hand side. It'll tell you there's one copy of 5 available. It'll tell you that its audience is juvenile, and it tells you supports Libby. So this one can't be downloaded on a Kindle at all. Many of the books have a read sample here on the right. You'll be able to read a sample from it before you check it out, and you'll be able to press borrow if you want to borrow it. If you scroll down some more, you'll see some other subject headings or genres that it is under, and you could browse more of books that are similar. But I'm going to read a sample first just to show you. If you read a sample, it'll show you a little bit of what it looks like. So right now my screen has at the bottom here the menu, and at the top the menu. At the bottom it'll show you chapters and page numbers. You can skip through if you'd like. At the top, because it's an audiobook, there is a playback speed, so you can change the speed of how fast it's reading. Press zoom, it'll zoom in. So you can press search and search within the book for a certain word. You can change the text files, the text font, I should say. Here, because it's a picture book, you can't check the change the text scale or book design. I don't know if all picture books are like this, but I believe most of them are. You can change the lighting though. So right now I have it on the dark, which is good for my eyes, but sometimes you might need it on bright or sepia. You can change how bright the book is. We can also bookmark and highlights. So to place a bookmark, there's a bookmark tab. You can tap the top right corner of the page to bookmark that you can come back. You can also create a highlight, and you can tap and hold a word and swipe right or left. I will show you that in a little bit. And here we go. So this one is an audiobook, so it's going to read to us if we press the play button, and it'll turn the pages for us.
Warning. Scaredy Squirrel insists that everyone brush their teeth with germ-fighting toothpaste before reading this book. Scaredy Squirrel Makes a Friend. Written and illustrated by Melanie Watt. Published by Kids Can Press. Scaredy Squirrel doesn't have a friend. He'd rather be alone.
So as you can see, that reads along, and it highlights the text as it's reading along. So that's something that's a great option for our younger kids. If I go back, I can borrow it. So if I press borrow right under the cover here on the right side, I can borrow with the quick hit, or I can press borrow. So it'll tell you when your loan is due if you want to set up notifications, and then we can either open the book or we can go keep browsing. So I'm going to keep browsing, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to decide I'm going to go up to the very top. At the top right, you'll see an arrow, and it'll take you up to the top of the page, and we can search with the magnifying glass. So I'm going to search for one of my favorite books, Fortunately, The Milk. And as you can see, there are 2 options. One says audio, and one says it's a regular book. Both have a sample that you can listen to. So the audio book, I'm just going to press play sample and go from the quick menu instead of clicking. And it looks just like this. You can speed ahead or rewind. Just like with the picture book, you can at the top change the speed but it will not have the words along with it.
Harper Audio presents Fortunately, the Milk by Neil Gaiman. And that's me.
So that's an audiobook, but I'm going to go back. I'm interested in the chapter book. I'm going to click, and we have all of the options for it. It also says at the bottom here, also available as an audiobook. And it tells you it supports Libby and an Adobe compatible e-reader. So we can read a sample from it, and it'll show up similar to how Scaredy Squirrel was. And I'm actually going to change my background. So remember, I like the dark background because it's better for my eyes, but something like this that has these little pictures, they're line drawings, so you won't be able to see the pictures because it's just going to show you the background. So I'm going to change at the top that little A button. I'm going to change it to sepia. And as you can see, we have a lot more options now for the text. We can change the size. We can also toggle this, include accessibility sizes, which will give you a little bit more half steps. So if you need large print or other sizes, that's all there. The great thing also is you can choose from these different fonts for book design. Right now it's on the publisher's default, but you can always change it. Some books don't always translate over correctly with the ebook, so if you play around with it, you'll get the right formatting, especially if there's like a picture on it. You can also, a great tip, if you have somebody who has a learning disability like dyslexia, you can use this open dyslexic book design, and it changes the font into a font that has the right spacing and font properties that somebody who has trouble reading due to dyslexia or another learning disability, it makes it easier for them to read. So that's a really great option for ebooks. And as I said before, you can highlight words. So if I hold down on a word, and then if I want to hold down on a word and swipe, I can highlight a whole sentence and I can make it a different color. And this you can refer back to all of your highlighted notes. If I just want to refer to a certain word, let's look up mushrooms, it'll come up with, I can highlight it, I can search within the book for other pages that contain the word mushrooms, or I can define it. So if I'm having trouble reading and don't know a word, I can look up the definition right here. It tells me a dictionary definition and synonyms. And it shows me other topics that might relate to it, and I can also explore it more on Wikipedia or Google, or I can translate it into another language. So that is how to look at all of our books. I'm just going to go back, and at the bottom I'm going to hit my shelf book, and now you can see that I have all of my current loans again, and I have the sample that I just had. So if I came out of it, I can go back to my sample if I'm still deciding whether or not I want to borrow that book. So if you have any questions, you can come down to the library and you can ask us, and I will be happy to help you if you need any help. And I hope you enjoyed today, this little tutorial, and I will see you soon.